Illustrator. Open it. Okay. You can see if you are very new, I will just close it. So as you see, actually I have some design in the cloud, so it will show me recent artwork. Okay, and by the way, you can see what I press on screen here. Okay, so at first, Illustrator will offer you some common file size here. And you can see the tutorials from these tabs, these options. Or you can open your old files from Open. I will just click New File, create a new one. And same as Photoshop, they offer you some common size. Like if you do some mobile design, this is the size of different fonts or website size. And the best thing is they offer you some templates. Or you wanna print some postcard or holiday card, something like this. Or you want to make some animation materials for videos or animations, or your illustration and art. But normally, I just create something like A4 because we can change the size of artboard in Illustrator. So today, I'm going to create a bears. And I will just keep it A4 size, right? You can change the units here. I don't mind. And this is the bleed. What does that mean? Means when you need to print something, you need to leave some area blank from the edge of your artboard. I will show you later on. Because when you print out something like holiday card, the machine in reality maybe would make some mistakes, maybe accidentally cut too close to the center of your card. You will have some very minor mistakes in reality, so you need to leave some space for it. And about the color mode, CMYK is for printing in reality. And if you just do something for only shows online, like web, mobile applications, something like that, then just choose RGB or icons. And today I just going to do something Illustrator, digital illustration. So I leave it to RGB color. And raster effects. As we know, anything we do in Illustrator is vector, but of course you can make something raster. So we just leave it default and create. Okay, and now control. You can always see some tutorials for you. It's very convenient. I will just close it. Control S is not saved, so you need to save it manually by Control S. So I will create my AI file here. Bears, Illustrator, save. I'm gonna just leave this option. Okay. So now, so many panels again. At first, see the toolbar here. double click, double arrow, expanded the panel of toolbar. And if we want to add some shapes, choose this one. And if you press longer, you will see some other shapes. Ellipse. If we want the real circle with perfect proportion, you can choose this tool and click on the artboard again. It will show you some details panel. You can just type the number you want, or press Shift and you can have the perfect circular, or you say ellipse. Same for rectangle. Shift, drag it. We have a perfect rectangle. And polygon, by default, it has 6 vertices. And if you still choose polygon tool, click, you can manipulate the radius and the sides like it, right? And the stars. Of course, left click, you can set this one too. So if you notice, when you move your mouse to the numbers here and scroll down, or scroll up or scroll down, you can manipulate the numbers. And here, 2. And you can change the points too. Wow. And in properties, so expand the toolbar. I want to introduce 2 selection tool. One is this one on the left side. You can just, so how do we pan the canvas? You can click middle click and drag it. And if you want to zoom in out, you can press Z, or intuitively you can scroll up, press Alt and scroll up or down. For me, that's very intuitive. I like it more than the setting in Photoshop. Okay, so keep going. If we have a shape here, but we want to change it, then go to properties. So at first, your Illustrator may look like this or something normally like this. And I want you to change the panels. So how do we change? You can click on the tabs. I think your one is loose like this. Oh no, this one is mine. Okay, so I don't want this comment tab. Click on the tab by left click, drag it to the space, the blank space, and close it. I need properties, so I leave it. But I drag it. I only drag the tabs here. If you drag the blank space here, you will move the whole thing. That's not what I want, so I snap it to the right side. Only drag the properties and drag it again, snap it to the right side of this area. Right click on the tab. You can choose close this tab as well. If you choose close tab group, then the whole thing will be closed. That's not what I want. So close. And I want you to go to Window and choose Color. Only choose Color tab. Close this one and tab it here. One more thing. Swatch. Only choose Swatch. Put it in the middle of layers and color. Close these ones. Or you can, I think we can keep the symbols to swatches. Close brushes. The last thing is Artboard. Choose Artboard tab. Snap it right by the layers. So as we see, if the tab side by side group together, they are grouped. You can see this is floor, first floor, second floor, third floor. And if you click on the spare space here, you can only drag this floor here too. But if you drag the top of this panel, you will move the whole thing. Yeah. And see, if I didn't release my mouse, I will see the blue line, which means it snapped to the whole application. Okay? It's not floating. What does that mean? Floating. If I drag my property in the canvas, this is floating. It didn't have a fixed position. It's floating in the air. That's what I mean. Okay? And if we want to see this setting every time we get in Illustrator, then you can save it. But before that, one more thing. Go to View. No, go to Window. Choose Control. Now we have one more column here. Can see more settings intuitively. Okay, now they are all I want. Click this icon and click on New Workspace. Type in yen or anything you want. Yeah, and if you type the same name, just like what you type right before, for example, I type yen, then it will just replace it, overwrite it. It's okay. Okay, so go back to the details setting. I click this explosion symbol and I want to change something. Then you can see our properties, right? And what can we do? So let's talk about indirect selection tool. What's the difference between selection tool and direct selection tool? when you use selection tool, you can move the whole thing and change the size, right? But if you want to change in proportion, press Shift and drag it. Now you see everything isn't deformed. But if you didn't press Shift, it can be flat or chunky. Okay. And now if you choose direct selection, we will see different. We see many vertices in this shape. What does that mean? Each vertex has one point here. If we use direct selection tool, click on this vertex. Now everything isn't selected. You see, it's not blue at all. It's white in the center. White. And this is blue. So if we drag it, I only change the position of this vertex. So I can manipulate vertex individually. Individually. So if I press the vertex, I can change them. I can change each vertex individually. Or you can select multiple vertices. Same. So, any other thing we notice? What is this circle? As we see, we have sharp angle here. And if we want circular corner, we can drag this circular and change our sharp horn here. Understand? Okay. So if we just click in the middle of this shape, which means everything is selected. So now, if I drag one circular here, it will change everything at the same time. Play around with it. It's interesting. Okay, so what if I want to change the color here? So we can go back to toolbar. The foreground here on the top is the fill, and stroke is the black one by default. So our edges is black, and the fill of this shape is white. So if I change or double click, I can change the color. Okay, why it didn't change? Because you need to select this thing at first, then double click. You can change the color, or you can go here, color panel, double click, the same, right? Or you can just choose the colors from swatches. And how about the strokes? So now you choose this stroke. You can change the color of stroke. Change red. Yeah, see? And of course, you can change the color by pressing this swap icon. Oh no, so now our fill becomes red and our stroke becomes green. Select this one and swap again. See? And what if we didn't want the color inside? We didn't want the fill. Click fill and choose this one, none. This icon, which means none. Now we didn't see the fill anymore. Of course, you can choose the one here. So select and choose the color again. And if you don't want, choose none. Okay. And what if we want to have the same fill and stroke again, like this star? You can choose eyedropper or press I as the shortcut and sample this star. Now we have the same fill color and stroke color. And do we have another way to create shapes? Yes. We have pen tool. And pen tool in Illustrator is different from Photoshop. In Photoshop, we create path by using pen tool. And in Illustrator, we use pen tool to create shape. So for example, you want to choose. So you have two ways to start pen tool. One is directly click on the canvas and you will have a straight line, right? And if you want something very straight, for example, if I click again, and you can have a slash here, a slope, or click again, and this time I want to have a 90 degrees line. You can press Shift and press the second vertex. Or you want this line very straight without, you see, this one is a little bit sloppy. I want a perfectly straight line. So I press Shift before I click the second vertex. So now I have a perfect straight line. Okay, so how about curve? How do we create a good curve? So you can click the second vertex. And before you release your left mouse, drag it. Now we have a curve, right? Or you can click and don't release your mouse and now drag it. You can manipulate your degrees of curve from the first vertex. So if now I choose this angle, okay? And now click and don't release, drag it. So test, experiment to see which one, which size, which shape you would like to create and feel it. Okay. And another one is this paint brush. So anything you create in Illustrator is vector. What does that mean? Means even you drag it, you make it larger or smaller, the edge of this thing is always sharp, right? But if you make some shape in Photoshop, like this, raster. So in Illustrator, we have perfect line, vector. And in Photoshop, it's raster. Raster, yes. So if you see some masked edges of your shapes in Photoshop or your photos, they are all rasters. What does that mean? We can drag our bear. We just paint in Photoshop and see. We have this thing, pixels. We have pixels in the edge, but we wouldn't see that in the vector, like this one. Even we zoom in, we always see the perfect edges. Okay, so that's the differences between vector and raster. Okay, and now I want to make a bear for us to get used to Illustrator. So as we know, the best attribute in Adobe series of applications is layers. So let me introduce. First, in Photoshop, we only have one artboard in the viewport. Yes, you can create more, but that's not how we do things in Photoshop. Usually we just have one artboard. And in Illustrator, we can have multiple artboards very easily. Choose this icon, Artboard tool, click on your artboard. And if you want to export any image from Illustrator, like this bear, put it in this artboard and go to File, Export as, and choose the folder you want to export. Maybe AI. Okay. And now choose the type you want to save. I choose JPG, use artboard, and we have only one artboard here, so choose range 1, export. And I don't want to print it, so I use RGB. Quality, I choose it. I drag it to 10. Compression method, choose baseline optimized. Resolution, I choose medium or 144. And anti-aliasing, I always choose the optimized option. Okay, I don't need this one. Okay, so go back to our folder. What do we see? a bear in the center of artboard. JPG, right? So if we want a PNG, just export again, choose PNG, use artboards, range 1, export, and resolution I change it to 144. Type, I will choose super sampling, this one, and transparent background. Of course, you can change it to white or black. Okay, what do we see now? Okay, so now I have a bear without background color. So what's gonna happen if we change or export by use artboard of all? So it's gonna happen. So what's gonna happen is all the artboard will be exported. Okay, that's all. Alright. And now we have 3 artboards. So if you have, so let's see our file name. We have bear 01, bear 02, bear 03. So by default, if you didn't change the name of artboards, then it will give you this name 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can change it like there and export again. What's gonna happen? You will have a bears and dash and artboard name. Okay. Okay, go back to our layer. I want to delete. And by the way, if you choose artboard tool and click on the artboard, you will see the name here, like a label. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna delete it. So, how's the layer work? How does the layer works? How does the layer work in Illustrator? I'm gonna delete them. So now we only have one layer. And if I add a new one, so maybe I choose the stars again, and the one on the top will cover the bottom one. Okay, so the same, the one on the top, the one always seen on the top. And how do I use it? If I want to create a bear and use this one as the reference, we need to. But when I use pen tool to create a bear, I don't want to touch this picture. It's quite annoying. So I want to lock this layer by clicking here. So now layer 1 is locked. I wouldn't touch it anymore. And if you click again, you will be selected. But if I have this one on the top, then this one will always be selected first, because this one is covered. That's how layers work. Okay, layer 1 is locked. And now let's create a vector bear in layer 2. So now I want to create a contour as first. So click, drag it, because we have a little slope here. And drag it. Oh, I don't want this fill color. So I go back to color, or here, make sure you select the fill. No color. And I don't want the stroke too. By default, we can see a red line. That's all. That's fine for me. And in here, I don't want this curve. So click this vertex again. It will cancel the curve from this handle. Drag it. Okay, now it's fine. Click again. I mean, it's not perfect, but so how do we have a good circular by pen tool? Then we need to click here. We need to make the curve as few as possible. Then it will become much smoothly. Okay. It's not right. So okay. And I'm gonna start from this vertex because later on I'm gonna fill the bear's color. So maybe go here. I'm not sure. Go here. So if I will make layer 1 hidden now and make some stroke to see the effect. And you can manipulate the stroke size from here. I think 12 is fine. Okay. I'm gonna keep doing it. And if you don't want to see the whole opacity of this layer, then go to Window, find a one, name Transparency, drag it to Properties here by side, and manipulate this layer to oh no. So choose this layer and we can find a gradient too. Let's see how it works. So this bear, I click on this PNG and I want to make this bear have low opacity. So now I change it to 24. Okay, lock this layer again. Go back to layer 2. And now I want to delete this ear. I don't think that's good. So you can choose Direct Selection tool. Yeah. And click the vertex you want to delete. Or you can choose Pen tool again and go to the vertex. And now you see if you see this slash, which means you can start from this vertex, or delete. That's all. So what if you want to add one more vertex in the path? Just click on it. Okay. So I want to start again. Start from this vertex. So maybe I will do the ear later on. I want to make the bear whole body at first. So in Illustrator, people want every corner is perfectly smoothly. So it's not right. So here I want to make a curve here. See? Oh no. Okay, here looks smoother. Here. Okay. Now I want a little curvy here. Okay. And that's this curve is separated. So make sure if you want to have the good start, you need to have a curve that is just fit the slope at first. Now, so now if I want, yeah, it's better. So if you want this curvy shape of line, you need to manipulate your first vertex. Okay, start from here. Okay, from here. I'll make my feet larger here. It's cute. Okay. All right. And now we can open this layer, and I want to make sure my path here is on the top and this contour is beneath it. Okay, because later on I want to choose, see, if, so I click on this contour and go to fill here. And I use eyedropper to select this bear. Go back to 100% and I want to add the color. So you can create swatch manually. Only have fill and choose from this image. Another one is the gray part here. Okay, so now I change it. Go back to lower opacity, unlock layer 1. These swatches, I'll drag them. So now we can talk about how to change the layers. I select 2 squares here. You see, they are in layer 1, but they are selected now, except this image. And I drag this blue square to layer 2. So now they have, so you see, you can label different colors from different layers. So if I click on this image, its edge is blue. And now, when I select these squares, they are in red. The selection line is red, right? In layer 1, in layer 2. Of course, if you double click on this color, double click on layers, you can change the highlight color. Maybe change it to green. Now it's green. I change it back to red. Just show you. Lock it. Okay, and choose these 2 colors. And go back to swatch. Click on color group. Just leave it. Now I have these ones in swatches. I can delete them. Go back to layer 2. Select this contour. And I want to have the fill color like this. Okay, I may do that later on. I want to finish my hand. At first. Okay. Ear. You can use direct selection. Change it. And this. I want this stroke smaller. Or you can change it like this. Okay. Another one. Perfect. Oh, it should be as thick as others. And this one will have different eyes, nose. Okay. So I don't want the stroke here. I prefer this way. Right. So what am I going to do now? I choose the image again, change it back to normal opacity, and now oh no. And now I want to change. Oh, I forgot to draw my hand. Okay, draw the hand. Drag it. And I need black stroke with this stick. And if you want to change your stroke, you can click stroke here in properties panel and change the corner. I think I want sharp in the edge. So you can go to profile, choose this one. So thicker. Okay. I try to cover because here is a little bit great. Okay. And here I want to change it to, and I want to be larger. Yes. Okay. This one too. Okay, that's all. And the ear here, I want them to be filled. No. What's this color? It's not. Okay. This one. Black. Black. One last thing. Fill the color. Oh no, I forgot the area here of light gray. So create I don't want the stroke color for now. And if you find it's not clear, go back to layer 1, change the opacity. Okay, now it's easier to see. So we can go back to paint this area. Right, and have a fill of white, and change the layers. Maybe, and we have shortcuts to change the layers position. So click this one and right click. You can change arrange, bring backward, or Control and left bracket. I always use the shortcut. So from now, I want to bring it lower than nose and this line. Okay. And I find here is too sharp. So I want it to be smoother, regular, no, circular. Okay. B here is larger. Okay. And now I change this bear back to normal, and I want this contour have feel of bear's color. Has color, and maybe I can have some colors here too. So I create an area. Make sure you didn't have in the same path here. So actually, if you find here you didn't fit it, so we can we can lock the layer 1 and have a fill here. That's all. And change the arrange. So we can group these two together by right click group or Control and G. They are together. And I want to put this one beneath the whole body. So this one should be the last one in the arrange. So stand to back. Okay. And this one should be filled with brown color. Oh, what's wrong here? So that should be the back too. Okay. Now I finished the vector bear. One last thing, I want to change the stroke to thinner. Alright, finished. I don't like this intersect line, so move it lower. Okay, that's all. We finished the first bear vector. Now export as bear 1. Oh. Yes. How about, and if you want to change the color to polar bear, select them all, go to Control Line here, click this icon, use the color from this 3 lines icon. You can change it to HSB or CMYK, and normally I use HSB. I want it to be, yes, light gray. So we have a polar bear. Oh no. So if you click this home icon, you will go to here. And if you click on others, you will have other files opened. And if you click here, this arrow go back. You can go back to your space. File, export. So I want a PNG. Export. And one last thing, we need our Panda. So this time, we need to change it manually. This thing and this thing and this thing, right? I change it to black. And I want here to be more circular. Something like this. I will manipulate this handle. Okay, looks better. And lock this layer. Open another layer. And I try to... Oh no. What's gonna happen? Why? So, huh? Okay, and now choose the area here. I want here to be a little bit circular. Want to make this area to be filled with black, like Panda's feet. Okay, choose these two and put it here. And now you see we have some problem here. I want to change this stroke to white and make it higher. So you will find it's not easy to align with the stroke. So I want to change this stroke to a fill. How do I do that? Go to Object, Expand, its Appearance. So now it's not a editable stroke anymore. And I can click on this vertex and change it to something I would like to see. It's easier for me to manipulate now, right? So okay, I find this area is quite weird, so I'll change it. So after finished, I want to better. Okay, how about here? Okay, looks okay for me. No, it didn't have a panda eye. So change this circle. You can manipulate to ellipse. Yeah, cute. Okay, finish the panda. 2. Nice. I hope you enjoy it. Our bear tutorials.